I still cannot figure out why StreamYard does that little flishy flashy thing. But hey, welcome everybody. Dadman Walking 55 here, 4 minutes after 6 on the East Coast. How are y'all today on this opening day, opening week of the NFL season? Well, because opening day was technically on Thursday with a miracle that I know at least one person in this chat is incredibly surprised and happy for, though. Hey, uh, so today we're just going to work on some different things, kind of experiment with this show format as an idea to go forward. So hopefully this is something people, it'll grow. You people will like, and we'll have some fun with and see where we can go from here. But we're going to mix a little bit of the college and pro together because on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. usually, some Tuesdays we have to have it shifted there. We have the SEC Weekly with Dadman where we focus on the SEC games and with guests. Today I'm hoping to take the Sports Weekly, but since it's football season, our primary focus will be on college football around the country and the NFL. But hey, folks, thank you for being here. I'm just making sure I got a notification. I got to double check. So far, if y'all can hear me, then you know what? I did better than my Fortnite stream earlier where I was plugged in with the wrong thing. So y'all haven't said you can't hear me, so that's a good thing. But my friends, good to see y'all today. Even if you're not a sports ball fan, please join us, kick back, have a beverage, relax. Hey, if you like to ask questions, if you got comments, whatever. Even if you're not a sports ball fan, stay with us. We'll make some jokes. Maybe something will make you laugh. Maybe one of my rampages will happen. You want to get rampages for me? Dadman rants are definitely Darth Maul, and you can get me on some football things. So hey, make sure y'all give it a chance. And if you have questions about the game you never have understood before, go ahead and ask. And I'll do what I can to try to answer them, folks. Good to have y'all with us tonight. And let me see. I'm going to start looking at the chat, just updating a few things elsewhere as I get everything loaded. So, my friends, good to see y'all tonight. And we're going to start off. Admiral Teague was in here. I hope you're still here. Admiral Teague, we know the Jets will win the Super Bowl. My only question is, who do you think they will beat in that game? I love your passion, my friend. It's good to see a Jets fan really passionate about their team, and I'd like to talk to you sometime about that. I got some Tim Tebow questions for you up there and Mark Sanchez. But anyway, good to see you, Admiral Teague. Hey, you've been long-suffering. You deserve to have a good year. And, of course, I answered him, so I hope it'd be Cowboys, but, don't beat them. Play them in the Super Bowl. Of course, I want the Cowboys to win. And here's the happiest man in the NFL today, probably, the JT Kirk. Damn it, Mark. Hell, because his Detroit Lions beat the Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champs. I'm like, oh, but hey, my gosh, that is great. So, Wade is here. Hey, Real Wade Nation, 4-0. Okay, I bet they will be. Buddy Hepburn here. Here's a real sports guy that knows this stuff and does it in real life. Howdy, Suzanne Eckstein. It is so good to see you. Hopefully you can stay a little bit, kick off your shoes, get a drink, have some fun with us with some sports ball. Because, folks, there's more coming down the channel that's not just sports ball. I got some forts I need to work on, but we got something brewing in the background, especially for some of you people that like some of these things that are out of this world. There's something brewing and working in the background. But, stick with us in here and see what we go. You think the Gators will be 8-5? Well, guess what, Wade? I'd take that because I think you're being very, very generous. So, thank you, JT. Thank you. When the Cowboys become a problematic mascot, I propose they become the Dallas Malls. Denver 117. Wow. Man, you don't have much hope for them then, do you? Well, I can't say that I couldn't help to. Anyway, I don't like their former quarterback, Hall of Famer, general manager guy that, anyway, brought in Frankenstein. I don't know. That's another issue for another day. And Elway's legacy that could have been threatened. But we will never know, my friends. We will never know because they did not give it a chance to happen. The Tim Tebow experience in Denver. Oh God, that was. If you've ever experienced cult phenomenon in a city when sports teams going crazy, it is out of control. Dallas, the Jaguars in '96 when they made the playoffs out of nowhere. I mean, they had 60,000 people in the stadium downtown at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just they did a flyover the stadium after they beat Denver in the playoffs, and the people just showed up late night and had a big party at the stadium. I mean, crazy things happen when people get hot or get popular. So hey, uh, uh buddy, refs helping Denver today, so probably better than that. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Oh, wait, buddy, are you? Because I know yesterday, buddy, you were having problems with the Colorado game because it's like the refs were and fans were helping them there in Colorado. Maybe it's something in the water in Colorado. I don't know. Maybe they got some Colorado bison to be the officials. But hey, I digress. We'll see what happens. We got four great people here. Make sure you smash that like button, share it out, retweet it, get the word out to others, help the algorithm, all that crazy stuff. And if you're on the Twitch side, follow us there and you know, check it out and check out our different stuff that we do along the way. And maybe there'll be something you'll like. I know at some point. Of course, today I don't have the missus either. She will not be around. But hey, safe journeys to her. She'll be back a little bit tomorrow. But hey, let's get started. Yeah, it's probably well, it is a legal state though, buddy. It is a legal state, so probably a whole lot of wacky stuff. As my dad used to call it, the wacky tobacco. So, all right. Well, let's see. Yep. All right. Um, let's go. All right. So let's take a look at things. Let's start with a look at the current NFL scores. I'll do that. Then we're going to jump to college football. Then we'll come back and look at the NFL together. And feel free to opine as we hit these things. Currently, of games that are ongoing, the Packers have just taken a 17-6 lead coming out of the first half. Score early in the third quarter over the Bears. The Broncos are leading the Raiders at home 13-10. Um, while the Eagles on the road at the Patriots are up 16-14. It's odd with that game. The Eagles score 16 in the first quarter, Patriots 14 in the second quarter. So each one scores all their points in one quarter. At the half, the Dolphins in a scoring fest really are leading the Chargers 20-17. They moved to the third quarter with the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams up 14-13. And then later on tonight at 8:20 is how about them Cowboys playing at the New York Football Giants. So we shall see what happens with that game tonight. That's a game that I will be keeping an eye on, very much so. So, and hail to you, Joseph Drake. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Yep, that usually happens. Maybe they just put him on the bench to protect him from getting hurt. But we'll see. We shall see, my friends. So let's look back at the world that was college football yesterday, my friends. We will look at yesterday's matchups, games, and maybe I'll pick a game here or two to look at that were unique. There were some upsets. And so we'll go down top 25 and then we'll look through the schedule and then we'll come back to the NFL today and talk about some of the games and we'll do some periodic updates of what's still going on. So feel free, have a yes. I'm not sure if it's that Me Too stuff. Apparently, there is breaking news out of Michigan State with Sparty. So let me bring that article up real quick because I saw that a second. Yep. Let me see. Yep. Yep. We're going to go with this article as it is from. Let's see. According to, I'm taking the article from the ESPN website, but apparently the reports are that Michigan State suspends Mel Tucker, the head football coach, amid a harassment case. So it's suspended without pay. And Dan Murphy, ESPN staff writer, writes, that Michigan State football coach Mel Tucker is suspended without pay while the university completes an investigation into claims that he harassed a prominent speaker after she was hired to speak with the team. So, who knows what will happen with this? We'll see. Obviously, it's early on in the investigation. With let's see, reading this. Um, uh, the athletic director, Alan Haller, said the university's objective has been and remains focused on conducting a fair, thorough, and unbiased investigation, allowing the process to play out. So there's that's a big hit in the college in the Big 10. Sorry, I keep getting Big 10, Big 12 screwed up all the time. So that is the latest out of there with Michigan State, who Mel Tucker's, I think, probably about third year at Michigan State. It's very early on. Mel Tucker, you'll remember, has been around the country at different jobs. He was a defensive coordinator, Jacksonville in the NFL. He was head coach at Colorado. So it's remained to be seen a lot here with this. Just this is okay. So they're returning former head coach Mark D'Antonio to the team. Is returning to serve as an associate head coach this week. D'Antonio retired in February of 2020, so that's about 3 years ago. So, oh gosh, this skipped on me. You're releasing video soon on Tebow versus Rodgers. Okay, I like that. Considering not going to a game now, honestly, well, I think just let us see what happens, see how it plays out for now, and if it's going to be fair or what that is. I got some other thoughts, but I'm going to hold them off for the meantime until we learn more with this story. But that's the basic story that at this point he's suspended pending an investigation. Yeah. Yeah, and like Joseph Dredd said, this is why sometimes we have to wait till it gets out there. The LSU Les Miles didn't come out until later when he was at Kansas, and you see what happened. Even the effects of that happened when he was at Kansas. So, exactly, buddy. Tebow was a super nice guy. Okay, well, we will definitely be looking for that one, Wade. I'm looking forward to that one. So, all right, well, let's look at the college football world right now. Let's look at yesterday, and then we will look at the top 25. So we got people that are represented, all the teams in here. So let's see. Of course, number one, Georgia beats Ball State 45-3. Some of these games, if they involve SEC teams, I'm not going to comment really a lot of them. We'll talk more about them on our SEC Weekly with Dadman on Thursday night at 8 p.m., which should be a good one this week. My guest is a very close person to me, and we both are Gator fans, and there's a lot with this person, so it could be a very big, good stream considering Florida, Tennessee this week. So join us for that. Michigan stays undefeated at home. Game 2 of the Harbaugh suspension, 35-7 over UNLV. Hey, Mikey, Susie Ford, good to see you. Yes, your Niners and Washington stoic victories. All right. Well, how about them Cowboys? I'm going to still take my Cowboys tonight. Yeah, the Niners were really hot. We'll go and get to that in a little bit. I want to go back to a little bit of college football, and then we will get to the NFL definitely as these later games wrap up. Hopefully, we'll catch the end of them as they end. The big game of the week was Texas Alabama. Wow, folks, what a heck of a game! I mean, you had number 11, number 3. Number 11 takes the victory on the road, 34-24 over the homestanding Crimson Tide with 21 points in the fourth quarter. Texas scored to pull away with this win. It was quite an interesting game to watch. Really seemed kind of dead at the first half. The second half, it picked up with the scoring. Hey, I will say Jalen Milroe looked like he threw the ball better this time, but Texas with almost 500 yards of offense and the ball over half the game. So there's a lot. There was it was a game that, in spite of a 10-point margin, really was a very, very good game in the end. So you got to. Was it a game of the century? Probably not. But was it a very good game? Yeah. As games go these days, this was a fun one to watch. But Texas got hot near the end, and it was 3 touchdowns for Texas in the fourth quarter. So normally a stalwart of the Alabama has been their defense, but no, we shall see. Somebody victimized them, and honestly, folks, looking back at the game in Austin last year, had Quinn Ewers not been hurt, this could have been a bad sight in uh, Austin last year, where Alabama squeaked away barely with a 1 point win, and two Texas quarterbacks. One went down, and the other was like hobbling the whole time. So, oh yeah, Buddy said, "See the football of Harbaugh and his dad at his son's football game was awesome." Oh, I hadn't seen that yet. All right, well that's cool. That would be something cool to see. But no, I haven't seen that. I did hear about an article. Let's see. There was another situation in college football that I may or may not touch upon. Let's see where we go with the scores for now. But hey, we'll see. So that's a game. Yeah, our guest last week was OC Dobbins. So unfortunately, his team lost, but hey, not completely unexpected. So fourth ranked Seminoles of FSU blow out Southern Miss 66-13. Ohio State beats Youngstown State 35-7. USC rolls over Stanford. Penn State crushes Delaware. Washington beat Tulsa. And a game that was kind of surprising is that the Tennessee Volunteers, ninth ranked, only beat Austin Peay 30-13. I'll have more thoughts on that Thursday, but is it possible this was a look ahead game with the big game in Gainesville at the arch rival Florida Gators this week? Looking ahead? I don't know. We'll see. Notre Dame, 10th ranked, on the road at NC State in a game that could have been maybe a trap game, but Notre Dame, after a lengthy rain delay, ended up a game that was a little bit back and forth, and then pulled away in the fourth quarter. NC State pulled it within 24-17. Had a couple had a chance to tie it or make it a game, but then 3 consecutive touchdowns by Notre Dame in the fourth quarter put the game away. And feel free, if you saw any of these games that I'm talking about, if you have any comments, feel free to say them and we'll stop and we'll take a look at them. 12th ranked Utah gets 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. One of them set up by a Baylor interception in their own end of the field. Utah wins 20-13. Still a Cam Rising return. They're caretaking. They're still 2-0 without him. Oregon, I'm surprised the road game at Texas Tech comes out with a 38-30 to win. LSU crushes Grambling 72-10. Kansas State crushes Troy 42-13, ending Troy's 12-game winning streak. Kansas State, the Oregon State Beavers, yay Beavers, 55-7 over UC Davis. In a wild game, folks, that you didn't think it could be that close, but this team has always been an annoyance in a lot of the big schools, and I know it. This team had to make JT Kurt really happy many years ago. Appalachian State nearly knocked off North Carolina. A little bit conservative play calling in the fourth quarter, and they ended up settling a field goal, tying the game, went to overtime, but then UNC scores a touchdown, but holds off Appalachian State for a 40-34 win. Oklahoma struggles at home, 28-11 over SMU. And let me stop right there. Oh, yes. App State. Yes, App State. Well, we got 7 of y'all with us tonight. Hey, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to stop right here. That Oklahoma game actually had its own news story that came out about it. Let me, again, pull the news up for this involving, all right. Now, I'm not getting into the old stuff. I'm not getting into investigations, things like that. in any depth. But if you remember the name Art Briles, he was a head coach at Baylor a few years ago, and then there were problems at the program that there were just basically a bunch of stuff. Let's just leave it at that. All right, good. You're still here, but hey, AFK away. Just I appreciate you being here, JT Kirk. Um, Basically, Art Briles was a coach at Baylor. Stuff happened there, but apparently at the game last night when Oklahoma's went over SMU, he people saw him down on the field after the game. Of course, this article from ESPN reads that Oklahoma coach Brett Venables was unaware that former Baylor coach Art Briles had entered the field following Saturday night's win. Said the situation is, quote, being dealt with. And and the article says Briles, who Baylor fired in 2016 amid an investigation, was seen talking with offensive coordinator Jeff Libby, who is Briles' son-in-law, after the 28-11 home win over SMU. Images of him on the field wearing an Oklahoma shirt sparked backlash from Sooners fans on social media. And basically, the article goes on to say that the Oklahoma athletic director, Joe Castiglione, later issued a statement saying, quote, I was just disappointed as many of our fans when I learned of the post-game situation tonight. It shouldn't have happened, and it was my expectation that it would never would. Based on boundaries we previously set, I've addressed it with appropriate staff. So that's the article there. Briles, who's not returned to college football since his firing, but both Grambling State and CFL's Hamilton Tiger Cats attempted to hire him, but reversed course following public backlash. Now, he was hired last month to coach Dallas franchise of the International Football Alliance, a new professional league set to debut in the spring of 2024. So basically, Levy, who's the Oklahoma offensive coordinator, said Briles had attended a game with other family members and joined them on the field afterward. Quote, he's my father-in-law, end quote, Levy said. Quote, that's a grandfather to my two kids, so he was down with our entire family well after the game, but he was down there. He's with his entire family, end quote. So that is another article that came up today. There's and like I said, that's on another article on ESPN.com. Question there after that game. So go, lots of stuff, lots of controversy in the world of sports. So, hey, but where do you stand on it? There's reading the article again. There's a little bit more stuff I want to question before I pine too much, but it's interesting to see that situation develop. But we'll move on, and we have an upset that Wisconsin went on the road to play at one of the Pac-2 and lost to Washington State, 31-22. Washington State in this game, got some revenge for the good old Pac-12, and Wisconsin pulled it within 24-22 in the third quarter, but a late touchdown for Washington State put the game up away by 9 points. So it's which is interesting. Wisconsin passed for almost 300 yards, folks. And me, I always bashed Wisconsin quarterbacks, but they actually had a good game. Washington State threw for about 250 yards also. This is going to be interesting to see in light of the Big Ten expansion. A Big Ten team goes to Pullman, loses. Could there be one more expansion in the Big Ten, pulling up the Washington State and Oregon State teams? Not likely, since they didn't do it already. But when you sit here and see that Washington State can obviously play with the Big Ten, I don't know. I think you should do what you need to do, try to maintain these rivalries as much as possible. We're losing a lot of the old natural rivalries that have developed in these conferences over the years. So let's round out the top 25 really quick. Ole Miss pulls away from Tulane with a late touchdown on a fumble recovery return. Duke pushes down Lafayette 42-7. Colorado and Coach Prime's second game struggled in the first half, but puts away Nebraska in the second half, 36-14. The Miami Hurricanes, hey, they stepped up. They knocked off Texas A&M 48-33. Tyler Van Dyke threw for 374 yards and 5 touchdowns. Just outstanding offensive display. Texas A&M, though, folks, has always been regarded as having a stingy defense, but now giving up 50 to almost 50 to Miami. We could, I don't know. I wonder when the pitchforks and torches come out for Jimbo Fisher and College Station. So, and howdy to you, B from O. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, one of our other resident Auburn fans here. All right. Charleston Southern went on the road to play at Clemson. Remember, Clemson got beat by Duke 28-7 on the road the previous week, but Clemson was only up 21-17 in this game at one point, and then scores the next 45 points and wins the game going away 66-17. So let's see how that happened, folks. I'm curious about this one because like I said, it was let's see. Actually, the game was Charleston Southern had a 14-7 lead at one point in the first quarter, and it was 24-17 score at halftime. There you go. Late night War Eagle. I guess you're happy Bama went down last night. So 24-17 at the half, and then proceeded outscored 45-0 for the rest of the game. 4 touchdowns in the third quarter for Clemson, one being an interception return for touchdown, 2 more in the fourth quarter. So, hey, there you go. Kind of a very interesting game. I mean, look close at one point. Could you imagine the Boo Birds and Clemson had they lost at home to Charleston Southern? You know, at least for Charleston Southern fans, you probably felt good for a while. Let's go through. So we're going to round out the top 25, and that was it. And other games of interest, Wake Forest beats Vanderbilt 36-20. More on that later on Thursday. Purdue goes on the road, wins at Blacksburg, knocks off Virginia Tech 24-17. I mean, gosh, poor Virginia Tech after Frank Beamer's retired. It's just not been able to get any footing. Holy Cross challenged Boston College, but BC holds on for 31-28 win. Upset, little school versus big schools. Should this ever happen? No, but if it ever happened, it happens to the University of Virginia in football and basketball. Remember, Virginia was the first 1 seed ever knocked out by a 16th seed in the NCAA tournament. Well, James Madison goes into UVA and comes out with a 36-35 win yesterday. So just shake your head like, how can that happen? Kentucky beats East Kentucky 28-17 in a bit of a sluggish game. Iowa wins the Battle of the Cornfield State, beating Iowa State 20-13. Let's see, going down here. For you Navy people, Navy beats Wagner 24-0. For you Illinois people, Southern Illinois beats Northern Illinois 14-11. Arkansas beats Kent 28-17 in SEC action. Let's see, going down there and here. Just skipping some of these games. So we'll see. In ACC UAA action or or the UAA action. Cincinnati beats Pitt 27-21. The Bearcats go on the road, winning Pittsburgh. Let's see. Middle Tennessee gave Missouri a challenge, but falls to Missouri 23-19. Let's see. Florida beats McNeese 49-7. Mississippi State beats Arizona in a cross-country game in Starkville with the Cowbells. Jaden DeLaura for Arizona threw for 342 yards, but Mississippi State ends up holding on to win. More on this Thursday also. The Air Force Academy beats Sam Houston State 13-3. Hey, your leading passer in this game was Keegan Shoemaker for 44 yards. Let's take a look at this statistically real quick. Then we'll get at some of the NFL stuff in just a moment. Let's see. I just got to look at the box score on this one, folks. Oh, shoot. It pulled the wrong game up. How about that? Okay. 4. All right. There were 4 scores. Two field goals and a touchdown for Air Force and a field goal for Sam Houston. But in terms of the box score, my gosh, Sam Houston, Keegan Shoemaker, 8 of 14 for 44 yards passing, 30 carries for 36 yards for Sam Houston. Wow. Air Force, great passing attack. You think the Air Force is be air? No. There's all options. Zach Larrier, 1 of 3 for 14 yards. But Air Force did take the 59 carries for 244 yards. So, wow. Man, that had to be a fun fest of a game. Oh, boy. I don't mind triple option sometimes, and I think it's kind of old school, but geez, okay. Also, didn't mean to pass this one up. Michigan State Sparty beats Richmond 45-14. The 2 touchdowns for Richmond were late in the game. Pretty solid win. Let's see. Just looking at any other games of interest, South Carolina beats Furman 47-21. Fresno State beats Eastern Washington 34-31, which could have been a high upset. Auburn, and one that lasted the 2 big late games on the West Coast. Auburn comes back with a very late touchdown in the game to beat Cal 14-10 on the road. And Oklahoma State goes out to Arizona State and wins 27-15. So, folks, that is it for the recap of the college football world. Nav Air for the win. Yes. I will say at least Navy, of the 3 service academies, Navy seems to be the one that can throw the football better than Army or Air Force. So I don't know. It's just crazy. So let's do an update now real quick on the games now that are still underway in NFL. Then we're going to look at the college top 25. Then we will do a full recap on the NFL today. 2:57 left in the third quarter. The Packers have expanded lead to 24-6 over the Bears. Where's Jess? Sorry, Jess, if you're listening or lurking. At the end of the third, the Broncos lead the Raiders 13-10. The Eagles are still ahead barely at New England, up 19-14. With about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, the Chargers have taken the lead over the Dolphins at 24-20, and the Rams are up now on the Seahawks with a minute left in the third quarter, 17-13. All right, that's the current late games as they sit now. So let's go back and let's look at the current polls here. And I'm going to bring this one again. I'm using the graphics from ESPN.com. Make sure you hit that like button, folks. Subscribe if you haven't. And make sure you're still subscribed. Let's try to get to the March of 500 here soon. And, it'll be fun. Figure out something else. We're only 43 away. Bring everybody in. Let's get there. Hey, we try to make sports ball fun. And like I said, feel free to have, if you have comments on some of the games, whether it's the NFL, if you have comments now on the poll, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the polls. So let's take a look here. Oh, see, there we go. And let's do what Mr. Dadman always reminds me. Let's go maximum F11. All right, folks, let's start with the AP poll, where Georgia has 55 of the 62 first-place votes. Still a solid first-place position here. There was something went out on Twitter earlier where somebody said what their poll would be, which would be Florida State first and Texas up there. It's like, wow, that was kind of crazy. But Georgia hold, and as it should be. Georgia, Michigan stay 1-2 till they're beaten. Georgia, part of the contention could be that they're struggling and not looking so great against some weak teams. But you know what? You got a new quarterback coming in. They do take care of business. It's too early to say that they're overrated at this point. The Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines are still second. Now, Florida State jumps up 2 more spots, 3 first-place votes to pull into third place, replacing Alabama in that position. Texas takes a big jump up 6 spots to the number 4 spot with 2 first place votes, and USC rounds out the top 5. Now, here's a case. The Ohio State University, sorry, JT, I shouldn't have said the, I should just call them Ohio State, dropped 2 positions, even though, but, normally we get annoyed by that, but it's too early to worry about things like that in the season. So, of course, the Big 10 is really well represented. Three in the top 7. Penn State ranked 7th. We got our second Pac-12 team, Washington Huskies at 2-0 at the 8th spot. Notre Dame 9th, moving up 2 spots. Alabama falls to 10th in the AP, dropping 7 spots. Looks like the big dropper of the week. That's kind of a big drop. I mean, losing to the 11th ranked team, but then again, they do have a loss. Tennessee is right behind them, and Tennessee dropped 2 spots. They had a sluggish win again against Austin Peay. Again, possible look-ahead game for the game in Gainesville next week, but the polls just reflected it with them. Utah, Oregon, LSU, Kansas State remain unchanged in their positions, all winning. The Beavers, yay! Sorry, yeah, my Oregon State Beavers, woohoo! Move up 2 more spots to 16th here. Ole Miss has moved up 3 spots, and Colorado now moves up 7 more spots with their dominating second half performance of Nebraska. They're 18th. Oklahoma is 19th, and North Carolina, with the struggle against App State, falls 4 spots to number 20. Duke moves up 3 spots to the 21st spot. And now we have 4 new entries in the top 25: Miami, Washington State, UCLA, and Iowa. A lot of Big 12 and a lot of Big 10 teams. A lot of Big 12. I keep getting that name. A lot of Pac-12 and Big 10 teams in this poll this week. So, what do you think? Any other thoughts, people, on the APL poll and where it sits? Buddy says Michigan has Jay Harbaugh on the sideline still. Oh gosh, Jay Harbaugh. Jay's still around. That reminds me of the Grudens, John and Jay Gruden. Like, I guess it's something that runs in the families. So, folks, feel free to check this out. Let me know what you think on the AP poll side. Let's look at the coaches poll. And we'll look at this some more on Thursday night. Georgia has 64 of the 65 first place votes in the coaches poll. It's very similar, except Texas did not jump as high. Texas stayed behind Ohio State and USC in this poll. It's very similar. Penn State, Washington, same areas. Tennessee, Alabama, though, stayed ahead of Notre Dame. Utah, Oregon, LSU, Kansas State are pretty much the same in both polls. Oklahoma's a little bit higher in the coaches poll. The Beavers are about the same in both. North Carolina, Ole Miss, all that is like jumble. They're basically the same positions, really. Then Duke, Colorado, Clemson stayed in the AP poll. In the coaches poll, they dropped 1 rank to 22. Of course, Miami, Iowa, and UCLA are now in the poll, which then look at that in the AP poll. There is no Clemson Tigers. I tell you, they struggled enough with Charleston State to be unimpressive. They fall out. So, what do you think? Is that fair? Is it reasonable? So let me know what you think in the comments and out there. So really, everybody's about the same in same general areas. There's no real big discrepancies between the where the teams are ranked in each poll. It's way too early to get worked up about where you are, because this season's really just getting started. We really don't know what a lot of these teams have, but we're going to find out. I know this week there's going to get into conference play in the SEC, so there will be a lot more action, a lot more competitive action. So feel free. Oh, my goodness. So, all right, with that note, if there's no comments with the college side of things, that's the latest on the polls. Just let me know what you think with college, the polls, any of the games, if you have any memories. But we will go ahead. Let me take a quick drink, and we will hop over to the NFL now, and we will take a look at it. what's going on. All righty. All right. Well, turn around to their commercial. So let's do a quick update of the one more time of the current evening games. They're now starting to come down to the home stretch. The games are starting to enter the fourth quarter or have been in the fourth quarter. And let's it's some of these games could be interesting the way they end. I don't know, but so let's go with this. Let's see. Alrighty, folks. All right. We got entering the fourth quarter. The Packers still lead the Bears 24-14. The Broncos still hold on to that lead with 10 minutes left in the game over the Raiders up in Mile High, 13-10. Did I tell you I don't like to go to Denver? We drove through Denver in the middle of the night, and then the next day it wasn't any prettier. So, oh my goodness. So, the Eagles Patriots. Eagles are up 19-14 still, and just really early in the fourth quarter. The Dolphins have taken the lead on the Chargers. This is really kind of cool to see. Kind of a Miami scoring game. I'll come back. I'm curious right now. We'll take a look at the box score real quick, as I'm statistically. My mom just my mom just texted. That's what the thing was. So when Grandma Man Walking talks, I have to listen. So um, all right, Grandma Man Walking. Yeah, when Grandma Man Walking talks, I have to make sure to stop and talk to her. I'm actually impressed because see, I was never really one about a Tua type of NFL quarterback, but he's thrown for 342 yards today. So far, he's 19-31, 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. He does have a pick, but it's very interesting to see that he's having a very good day with that. Tyreek Hill, Miami receiver, 8 catches, 169 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. So we're going to look at some more of the stats of these games. I just was curious to see. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised, and that's good. I like to see people do well. And I was never a Tua fan coming out of college going for the NFL, but hey, you never know. Got to give him a chance, That's what I've always said. You know, can't give me a real game quarterback, not a practice quarterback. I mean, that's one of the things I had because back to the Tebow debate, among other things. I'll try not to keep talking about that, but everybody's about practice. People don't play practice well and practice. I'm kind of like Allen Iverson in school practice, like when he talked about labor practice. We're talking practice. It's like, give me the guy that can play on game day, that can ball out when the clock is running and it really counts any day over a practice quarterback. And then the last game that's still underway, the Rams lead the Seahawks in Seattle 17-13. And again, tonight at 8:20, Cowboys at the Giants. So, all right, folks, let's see. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the day. Folks, come on out there if you're there. Who are some of your teams? Mikey, if you're still here, yeah, you're Niners in Washington. We're going to start looking at some of these games. Wade, you talked about Buddy, y'all talked about Burrow got benched. Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at that just a second. So, all righty. But let's go with this and say Tua is good on paper and should be able to take them far as long as the O-line holds and he doesn't get injured. Huge if. Yes. That is the one. Yes. We know about his hip injury coming out of college. That's still got to be having some effects. But yeah, the concussions now have been a thing that has popped up with him and susceptibility of concussions in the NFL game. So, yeah, that you're right, a huge if. But today they're having a very good day. So let's look at in the early games. The Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Off to a good start for the Falcons. I mean, Packers Packers. Panthers are rebuilding. Bryce Young gets his first NFL start for Carolina, goes 20 of 38 for 146 yards, has a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. So, Desmond Ritter, somebody I'd never heard of. How do some of these people get quarterback jobs? I'm serious. It's the Tim Tebow thing. It's just amazing. Some of the people that have been made NFL have gotten to be NFL starting quarterbacks. And anyway, Desmond Ritter, good for him as a starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. He was a 15 of 18 for 115 yards. Oh God, horrible numbers though. But hey, you won with a touchdown. Atlanta ran the ball for 130 yards. Tyler Algier ran for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. So for the Falcons. So just looking through the stats real quick. Actually Jesse Bates for Atlanta had both interceptions of Bryce Young's passes. I hear Bryce. I keep saying Bryce Dallas Howard. It got the stupid village on my mind. It's hilarious. So, but hey, it really was the game decided in the fourth quarter. It went 10-10 to the fourth quarter. Then the Falcons pulled away in the fourth with touchdowns. Tyler Algier had 2 touchdown runs of 3 yards to expand the lead, to the final margin, 24-10. Whoopa, hi Whoopa, good to see you, my friend. How are you? Oh no, I'm sorry, Whoopa. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you, man. Well, I hope your game coverage last night was better than last week. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I heard about that. Well, we're going to get that. Speaking of Burrow, I don't know. I guess he's a donkey this week, right? When score update, the Packers now are up on the Bears 31-14. So just to let you know, and Green Bay has the ball again. See, I do want to talk about Justin Fields though. But let's wait on that. Eagles have added a field goal up 22-14 on the Patriots. The Rams have now added another touchdown. They're up 24-13 on the Seahawks. All right. So then the game of the day, according to you guys, because the second mention of the Bengals and Joe Burrow specifically, the Cleveland Browns smash the Cincinnati Bengals 24-3. Golly, it's so bad. Wow, he did get pulled. Exactly. Oh, whoopa. All right. Yeah, I bet you it's fun. You're working like that. Coverage was busy as hell at 4 a.m. last night, but it was fun. That's awesome. That's the main thing. If you do something that you love and is fun, that is great. That's great, my friend. And this Deshaun Watson for Cleveland, 16-29 for 154 yards, a touchdown and an interception. I'm going to derail right here. Why do the problem with the salaries of these leagues and stuff now? Why would these quarterbacks that get these god awfully big contracts and it's acceptable for 16 for 29 for 150 yards? I mean, why? I mean, and these are winning quarterbacks. It's just speaking of Joe Burrow though, for Cincinnati was 14-31 for 82 yards. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Really, this is where I have problems with salaries. Yeah, it's okay when you're throwing 300, 400 yards a game like Moreno, Fouts, and those guys were. But these guys are getting paid boatloads of money for just what used to be average or mediocre games. So, oh, yeah. Benched. Thank you for the clarification, buddy. I got you. It's a technical definition, but it is an important definition. I've always used them interchangeably, but I do understand what you're saying there because you pull your starters when you have a big. Although I've seen teams pull their starters when they've been way behind too, but not necessarily benched. So because sometimes you pull them out for safety issues and stuff. But I do agree that in this case, yeah, that was a benching. You don't just pull your starting quarterback when you're like that, especially when they perform that badly. That was a benching. So. Nick Chubb for the Browns ran 18 carries for 106 yards. Deshaun Watson also added a touchdown run with his lone passing touchdown. So, Damari Cooper, former Cowboy, is now on the Cleveland roster. So, right, Justin Fields is still in the game for Chicago. All right, but again, Cleveland did lose one fumble, but hey, uh, interesting game here. You would have thought that maybe Burrow would have been picked off, but no. I mean, when you get 14 completions, 82 yards, the team then runs for 75 yards, it's not a good day. It is not a day. Whoopa said, worked one game last night, was given an extra 4 quarter after midnight, then worked 3 quarters today. All right. Good for you, man. I know you're happy. I know you're happy. Well, good. Glad you can make it in here. I appreciate it. All right. So let me see. Let's see. The Raiders have taken the lead now on the Broncos with 6.5 minutes left in the game. Raiders up 17-16. I thought I heard something. Anyway. All right, that's the latest score update with there. All right, well, then we move to a game. Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21. Battle of the AFC South, one of the up and coming divisions in the league, especially with quarterbacks uh, in this division. This game featured two of them: Trevor Lawrence, a first-round draft pick from 3 years ago, and Anthony Richardson, last year's number 4 overall from the Florida Gators. Who, sorry folks, he showed his true colors a bit today with some very bad errant passes and the very, very bad interception he threw. So. Oh, I bet you are watching these closely, Lupa. So thanks for lurking and chatting while you're doing it. But yeah, Richardson was 24-37 in his first NFL start, 223 yards. He threw a touchdown and like I said, a very, very bad pick. He did rush for a touchdown. He was Indianapolis's leading rusher. Indianapolis ran the ball for 65 yards. He had 40 of those 65 yards. 215 yards total net passing. Gardner Minshew actually made an appearance at the end of the game when Richardson got dinged up. Went 0 for 2 on both pass attempts. Trevor Lawrence for the Jaguars, 24-32, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Travis Etienne, 18 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby got his first NFL touchdown. The former Auburn running back ran the ball 7 times for only 13 yards, but he did get that lone touchdown. Calvin Ridley, in his debut for the Jaguars, caught 8 passes for 101 yards and a touchdown. And, so basically a game here that was kind of close for a while. Indianapolis had the lead in the third quarter at 21-17. They tied it coming out at halftime. The Colts tied it up. Jaguars took a lead with a field goal, and then a fumble return, 26-yard fumble return by the Colts for a touchdown, gave them the lead 21-17. Then the Jaguars outscored the Colts 14-0 in the fourth quarter to end the game. And it was close. It was a competitive game. A lot of people just are not sure about the Colts right now. And the uncertainty, well, they've got a certain quarterback now for sure, but how will he develop? How will he play? And I turned my head and I did not see that. So we will get with that in just a second. Oh, man. Gosh, that's the problem. I have my back to the screen. But hey, maybe one day win the lottery, get a big house, really go all full screen and everything. Hardcore. All right. Let's see here with this, folks. Let's see. All right. Checking on Grandma Man walking again. So we got to do it. And hey, obviously something happened because I just noticed it. 38-14. Whoopa. Was it a turnover? Man. Let's see what happened. This game. Man, it's becoming a runaway now. Yep. So was it? Yeah. Was that must have been the pick six? Okay, that is interesting though. Let me see. Let me go with GameCast. Let's see what we had here happen. But yeah, that is interesting to see. With I've never been a yep. Justin Fields pass intercepted. Quay Walker for 2 yard interception return. See, I've never been a Justin Fields fan. I saw him play at Georgia before he went to the Ohio State University. I'm sorry, folks. I never liked him as a quarterback. If you had to have him throw, it's just what it was. And so, they drafted him high because he got some good stat numbers at Ohio State. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. He's been started for a number of years. Can he take that next step? It's not looking like it right now, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, you never know. Hey, Castle, yo to you, sir. Good to see you, sir. How are you doing? We're now in the NFL part of the section. We've talked college to death. Again, looking at any other score updates. The Chargers are now up on the Dolphins 31-27 with about 12 and a half minutes left in the game. So, and we are going to continue the scores from the early games. We've let's see. So now the Jaguars though start off 1-0, trying to defend the division win from last year. Let's see what happens with Tennessee and the Texans, Houston Texans coming up. But the next game we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. The Bucs win this game 20-17. On the road, Baker Mayfield made his starting debut. See, I don't understand why they retread a quarterback. Why not give Kyle Trask, but make Trask your draft pick, the starter, see what he can do instead of another journeyman quarterback that's just meh. Because 20 points, very pedestrian numbers, 21-34, 173 yards. Did throw for the 2 touchdowns, but still, just very man. Kirk Cousins, another big, huge game statistically. But another loss, 33 of 44, 344 yards, 2 picks and 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. So Mike Evans had 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown for the Bucs, while Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 150 yards for the Vikings. So Kirk Cousins lost 2 fumbles on top of the pick he threw. So really average game, but the Bucs go on the road. The Bucs pulled this game out, and with a field goal with a 57-yard field goal with 5:10 remaining in the game that provided the winning margin. Let's see. Joseph Dredd, yeah, because the Bucs management team couldn't find their way out of a wet paper bag. Yes, exactly. Why draft a guy and never give him a chance to run the franchise? I mean, Trask was competent, had decent reviews in preseason. Give him the shot, and Baker's had what is it? This is 3rd or 4th different team. Has never stuck. Whoopa said Baker looked bad too. 173 yards passing yards on 34 attempts. Yeah, that's like my kids could outthrow that. Yeah. And Whoopa, no way you should have 173 yards throwing to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That's what I was thinking myself. The first thing is 6 for 66 for Mike Evans. Is I'm not paying him a big contract for those kind of numbers. And Justin Jefferson is the best. All right. So there we go. That's the Buccaneers. And folks, if y'all have, please, like y'all comment there, let's feel free. You got one of these games, throw it in there. Let's talk some football. Yeah, Castle says this is when you're a snake bit franchise. Yeah, Trask will probably be cut, being success like a few other quarterbacks in the past. That has happened to the Bucs quite often over the years. So, and Whoopa says it's because Bowles is playing for his job, putting Baker out there because he's more NFL ready, while Trask might have growing pains. Yep, Yep. Oh, hey, Mrs. Hey, I'm glad you're home up there. Tell Ninja hello. I appreciate you checking in, Mrs. How are you tonight? I bet you're tired doing that drive yourself, so didn't have me to keep you awake. And Castle says hello to you, Mrs. So 6 of y'all in here. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Share it out with everybody else. We're still going to wrap. I'm going to slowly recap these games as we go through, while these late games start to wrap up. Well, our friend Whoopa has got his eyes on all of this action. My game is tonight with the Cowboys on the road at the Giants. I'm hoping that they can steal that game. It's a regular season game, so Dak Prescott should show up. It's just the postseason. I'm sorry, I read it about that again. Yes. So Whoopa said, but starting Trask is the right decision. Baker's only going to be 500 best. Well, Trask is either going to solve your QB problem by playing well or getting you the first overall pick. Exactly. Agreed. How many, and like to see Anthony Richardson starting, God, I can't. Bryce Young is starting. How many friggin' first round quarterbacks are starting? Now, Trask was a second or third, but still, he's been in the league a couple of years on the roster. Put him behind the wheel and see what he can do in the regular season. It goes to the Tim Tebow argument I've always said is I don't care how they practice sometimes. There is difference between playing the game real life speed and real hitting versus practice and training camp stuff. Some players excel when the game is for real, not in practice. So I know. Look at the Dallas Cowboys through the 80s and 90s. They had great practice quarterbacks, but they got a great practice quarterback now. But sorry. No, he's really a great quarterback, except when it comes to the playoffs. Maybe one day I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't know. You've got to deliver in the playoffs. If you want to be this big contract guy. So Whoopa says hello. Just Dred says hello. Mrs. had dinner and is now resting. So yeah, Dak not show up. Say it isn't so. He'll show up tonight. Just don't expect him in the playoffs. So I will say, Dave Castle, he did show up in Tampa last year. He did show up to beat the Bucks last year. He did do that. Darren Waller. Okay. Who's Darren Waller, by the way, Whoopa? Phrasing. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's see if there's any score. So the Dolphins have added a field goal with 10 minutes now. They're down by 31-30. Looks like everything else has remained the same. Let's move on to our next game. Oh, God, this was a great one. My friend Clobby's happy, but, oh, my gosh, this had to be a snooze fest of a game. 16-15, the Saints beat the Titans. Good news for the AFC South Jaguars. Ryan Tannehill starts again. You wonder how long his days are numbered up there, because it's like with the struggles of this team. Wow. This is a very untighten-like game. Statistically, Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill was 16-34, under 50% for 198 yards, 3 picks. Wow. You wonder when they will go to Willis then, if no other choice. Of course, they don't have the old Tennessee quarterback on the roster anymore who started a game against the Jaguars. Derrick Henry ran the ball 15 times for only 63 yards. That is not Tennessee football. Derek Carr in his New Orleans debut, 23-33 for 305 yards, touchdown and a pick. Statistically looked pretty good. Chris Olave for the Saints had 8 catches for 112 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 5 catches for 89 and a touchdown for the Saints. So really just wow, this is like Tennessee rallied in the fourth quarter to get the gap from 16-9 to 16-15. Oh, please don't tell me. Oh, Nick Folk. Hey, a former Cowboy kicker. Nick Folk showed up again, folks. He kicked 2 field goals. Now, this is what I'm going to be curious about this decision. The Titans pulled it within 16-12 with 11 minutes in the game. Then they kick a field goal with 2:17 left in the game. The pull within 16-15. The place, that means the ball was probably about the 11 or 12 yard line. I wonder how many times Tennessee fans, and I need to listen to the Sports Animal tomorrow and stuff and see I wonder how many of the Tennessee fans are going to think he should have gone for fourth down and tried to score a touchdown. Old school, I agree with this. If you had 3 timeouts, you kick the field goal, play defense. That's what you do because you got the 2 minute warning. But it apparently did not happen, did not work this time. And the Saints pull out with a win 16 to 15. So, looked like a very painful game to watch. It was 9-6 at the half with Tennessee leading. Um, all right, but good, like I said, good for my friend Claudia and the Saints fans out there that they win, and that's the thing in the NFL, folks. You don't have to do it sexy like in the SEC or the college levels. Just a win is what you need in the NFL. Win in advance. That's it. Let's see the another game. Our great friend of the channel, Daisy Blossom, who showed up on our SEC, is a great 49ers fan. 49ers crushed the Steelers on the road. I did not realize this game was on the road, 30-7. Wow, Brock Purdy was 19 of 29 for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries for 152 yards and a rush, a long run of 65 yards. Now, statistically, Pittsburgh looked okay. Kenny Pickett, 31, hometown player from the University of Pittsburgh, 31-46, 232 yards, but had a touchdown and 2 picks to go along with it. While Pittsburgh, his team only ran the ball for 41 yards. Oh my gosh, not great numbers for Pittsburgh. Looks like it could be a long year with that. And Mike Tomlin's still the head coach up there. It's amazing how one franchise does not change quarterback like you should change your underwear. And did I phrase that right? Yes, I phrased that right because you're supposed to be changing your underwear always, but they don't. They still stick with it. It's like Chuck Noll was the head coach forever. Then God, oh man, that guy before Tomlin, that guy with the mustache who the Cowboys beat in the Super Bowl. Sorry, so yeah. Oh, and Whoopa said that that think the Steelers are good, but the 49ers defense is scary. Yes. The Niners got the Cowboys last year pretty good too with that defense. Pickett had a decent game, but the run game was non-existent. Exactly. Thank you, Cower. Yes, thank you, Cower. I just could see his face. I'm still getting. There's a phase of football I'm trying to remember because I'd sat out for a couple of years. So, but thank you guys there. Thank you for the feedback on that. Just flat out of the gate. It was 20-7 at halftime, and then just downhill from there. In the second half, it was expanded with a 65-yard touchdown run right out of the gate by Christian McCaffrey on the second play of the second half. Jake Moody added a field goal in the fourth quarter to extend it to the final margin. So for you guys that saw that game, that was if you're a 49ers fan, it had to be a good game to watch. Pittsburgh, not so much. My friend Daisy was very impressed with the Niners' performance. So, all righty. So, and let's go back. Let's see. Each time. Okay, the Eagles have added another field goal. The Eagles are now up 25-14 over the Patriots in Foxborough with just about 5.5 minutes left in the game. And that looks like the only score that has changed, but the games are getting late. So we'll get through. We got 2 more finals. Oh, shoot. How did I forget the Thursday night game? All right. Well, let's get through these 2 today because these are going to be well, except for Mikey Susie Ford. Mikey, I hope you're still there. I hope you're still here lurking with us, man. Your team, we're coming up on some of your games, one of your games here with Washington, the Commanders, winning at home against Arizona, beating that old Tennessee quarterback, Joshua Dobbs, getting the start for Arizona. He went 21-30 for 132 yards. Very anemic, weak, small dink and dunk offense, obviously, but they 16 points. The Commanders, Sam Howell in the start, 19-31, 202 yards, had a touchdown and a pick. Brian Robinson Jr. ran the ball 19 times for 59 yards. Really just a Average game looking at it. Let's see the. And if y'all, like I said, if you have any thoughts, if you saw these games, please feel free to opine. Another game, Arizona actually had the lead in the third quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, Washington takes the lead with 11:48 left when Sam Howell ran the ball in from 6 yards out. A short drive, short field there, a 29-yard drive in 7 plays. Where they take the lead 17-16, and then Joey Sly added a 33-yard field goal later in the fourth quarter, again on a 4-play 7-yard drive. So turnovers, great field position, contributed to the Arizona loss on this one. Then again, also one of Arizona did not score an offensive touchdown in this game. Their only touchdown was on a 2-yard fumble return by Cameron Thomas in the second quarter. So, buddy, I see Whoopa said, I picked my Washington in my survivor pool. Thank goodness they won, made it very close and scary. Yeah, this game looked very scary and anemic. I mean, I'm one that doesn't like Tennessee quarterbacks, but I hope Josh Dobbs gets a good chance and could do something in the NFL. But it's like every time he gets out there, it's like dink and dunk and just I don't, I just hope he can catch on somewhere. But that did not look like a great Arizona offensive performance either, much less Washington. So, Buddy said neither team played well, and you dislike Sam Howell. Why? Because he's UNC, and you're. I don't know, but hey, good. We shall see. So, okay, the last of the early games that completed, was the Ravens over Texas. I'm not going to waste time on this game, folks. Guess what? The Jaguars are in sole possession of the AFC South by virtue of the win over the Colts and the Texans and Titans losses today. So C.J. Stroud was 28-44, 242 yards, but only 9 points offensively. Lamar Jackson, supposedly behind a better offense and better receivers, 17-22, 169 yards. It's like really, where's this better? They beat the Texans, and it's not, just I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 3 field goals. Yeah, a lot of running. Yeah, so. I don't know. Apparently, it's people are high on the Ravens this year for some reason. To be honest, Dobbs has got more chances than he should have at this point. I'm sure he's happy with it. Yeah, I'm sure he is. But see, I mean, chances like in terms of being turned over to the starter, he's really not had that many times to actually be the starter. But he did well against the Jaguars last year, but till that late fumble, he would have won that game. But late turnover, return for touchdown, got the Jaguars into the playoffs. So, all right, folks. So that is it for the games that have finished. The Bears are currently driving. Let's see what they called there. No, they called them. Okay, just short of the goal line. So the Bears are driving now, but he hasn't had that many times, but didn't really have a good enough college career to warrant those chances. I understand. I agree. But I tell you, he's also one of those quarterbacks that I think when you watched him in college, when he did play, he had potential. And that's the only thing I'd say with some of these NFL quarterbacks of these teams. I think they've lost on so many quarterbacks because they did not give them a chance either because of play calling and opening up some of the offenses, or they just didn't put them on the field because they didn't practice well. Back to that practice issue. So maybe that's a debate we could have one day. We'll see one day. All right. So we do have that Thursday night game. I'm going to touch on that briefly, but let me check the scores real quick. The Bears are driving. The Raiders are still up with about 142. The Patriots have scored, but they're missed a 2-point conversion. So they're down 25-20 with 3:37 left. The Chargers are still up by 4 with 3:53. 2-minute warning. The Rams are still up 14 on the Seahawks. So let me talk real quickly about the huge game on Thursday night, folks. This was a surprise, a shocker. JT Kirk, I hope you're back from the AFK, but if not, I've got to have you tell me what you think about this. Detroit comes out, wins the first game of the year of the entire NFL, and they beat the Chiefs on the road. The Lions won their last game on the road at Green Bay, destroying Green Bay's playoff chance, and they come out, smack the Super Bowl winning Chiefs in the mouth, and come out with a win, 21-20. Jared Goff was 22 of 35 passing, 253 yards. David Montgomery ran the ball 21 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes in the losing effort, 21 of 39, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Really not much running offense for the Chiefs in that game. But what's just amazing is we've got a potential of having a legitimate Detroit Lions team that is actually competent. Detroit started the game out with getting the first score of the game, but the Chiefs come back, take a 14-7 lead into the locker room. Then the Lions pick six, 50-yard return by Brian Branch to tie the game at 14, and then 2 field goals by the Chiefs. That illustrates what you do with the Chiefs is you try to force them to field goals and keep them out of the end zone. And then David Montgomery had an 8-yard touchdown run to provide for the winning margin with 7 minutes left in the game. So, folks, if you saw that game, what are your thoughts with that game? Were you surprised by that result? Jalen Hurts just fumbled. Okay. I got to be careful I don't do play-by-play, but thank you for that thing like that. But, hey, oh, wow, that could be big. Yep, that could be big at the 41-yard line. All right, so let's see where we're going with these things. So we'll ride these last few minutes of this game. The Bears are still driving. They're still down 38-14, taking forever to get a playoff. But, hey, I've never been a Justin Fields guy. I think I said that earlier because he just did not do much at Georgia. Then when the competition came, he went to the Ohio State version. He went to the Ohio State to play. Did great in the Big Ten conference, but anyway. Oh, boy. We got to talk Big 12 football, though, one day soon, Whoopa. But, hey. So, again, Mike, like I said, tonight game at 8:20 on NBC is the national game. It's the Cowboys at Giants. I don't see any. And tomorrow night at 8:15, the Bills-Jets play. Admiral Teague, who was in our chat really early on, is a big Jets fan. Love to talk Jets football with him sometime, but an interesting game that they're going to have is the kickoff. I probably not normally would have been, but you got the Bills, but you also got Aaron Rodgers in his debut for the Jets tomorrow night, which should be highly watched and very eagerly anticipated to see. Will he be productive in New York? Can he create the Green Bay magic again, or will he not? And we have a final in Power Field at Mile High. The Raiders have pulled off the win 17-16 over the Broncos. 17-16 over the Broncos. Vegas took the lead with 6.5 minutes left. Jacoby Myers passed from Jimmy Garoppolo, and held on to win. So we have the Raiders over the Broncos. One of the first of the late games. You know, again, we can talk numbers. I know you and I do. Russell Wilson, 27 of 34, 177 yards. Why are we paying these contracts for that kind of productivity? These guys it's like highway robbery compared to what Marino and Fouts and all those quarterbacks, the numbers that they put up. And now we're no wonder ticket prices are through the roof and everything else. I mean, we're paying even Garoppolo 20 completions, 200 yards. Like, I wonder if we start breaking out the contract per pass completion. I'd hate to see what the contract per touchdown pass is. But yeah, it's that's all right. There's one game down. A couple does not look like many will be in doubt. Looks like two could be in doubt. Looks like the Rams are going to pull away. Just about running out the clock with about a minute left. Still up 27-13 over the Seahawks. The Packers and the Bears. The Bears still have not found the end zone. Really? Wow. Okay. Speaking of Bears, right on cue. Start a Poopa's Cue, Burr. Hello, humans and other critters. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Yeah, the Bears are not doing so good tonight, but hey, it is so good to see you. This is never good when Whoopa says frick. So, hey, Small Town Republic. Hey, good to see you. Yes. Hey, thanks for coming in. Yeah, 442 yards. Yeah. And Dolphins have the ball down 4, and they're driving at the 2-minute warning. So, glad y'all have y'all in today. Glad so many people here. Why did it pop that game up? That's not the one I picked. That's there we go. Yeah, actually, according using ESPN, Tua right now is 26 of 42, 457 yards. So 2 touchdowns and a pick. While Justin Herbert's 21 of 30 for 201 yards and a touchdown. So let's see what happens with this last little bit here. Current situation though, Eagles 4th and 17 at their 48. Well, nope. Looks like the Patriots. Okay, Patriots had the ball. That was the 4th down. So now Eagles should be getting the ball back with just over 2 minutes left. Yep. 4th and 17. So the Dolphins first and goal at the Los Angeles 9. Yeah, we got the onside kick coming. Oh no. Wow. Whatever happened to the ability to for an onside kick? I mean, it's like they don't know how to kick them anymore, but that should do it. That should pretty much put that game out. So Whoopa said the Bears' 3rd string running back got a TD, and my opponent started them. Oh, Rashawn Johnson. Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, that's probably not good. That's probably definitely not a good sign for you. Turnover on downs. Okay. That's right. All right. So the Patriots will go down now to the Eagles. That 4th and 17 play failed. So, oh my goodness, my friends. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, sorry. Programming notes, programming things that I had that come up that I had to deal with. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I wanted to talk today, and hopefully you like this format. Maybe keep doing something like this. Maybe on top of as a way to blend the college football with the NFL together, because I do like talking the stats about more of the games and make it more of a national thing and not just a limited regional thing. So, but yep, we looks like the Patriots should lose, and let's see where we go with the Dolphins, which leaves the Dolphins game as the one that we're really waiting on to see what happens. Still 2nd and 9, so the Eagles have a 3rd and 6 at New England 48. So still maybe not over because they have the timeouts. Okay, so there you go. All right, we do have a final. The Rams add another field goal at the end to beat the Seahawks 30-13. So we have 3 games left technically, although this Bears game should be theoretically over. So 9 of y'all here watching us. Thank you, folks. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Yep, Rams over Seahawks. Rams over Seahawks. There was a rumor of Jim Harbaugh once back in NFL. Well, you know what? That might be where he should be. You know, I mean, apparently the fits he's causing up at Michigan and a lot of drama up there. Maybe he is better suited to the NFL game and things like that. So I would not doubt it. But I will tell you that's the danger of having a coach that's too busy trying to go to the next level. I think that hurt Florida a few years ago with Dan Mullen. But hey, he plays in the Big Ten, so you know he can afford to be distracted because it's so easy to coach and win up in the Big Ten when you're Michigan and Ohio State. That's a little bit of fun for you, my Big Ten fans out there. And oi, hey, Stunning, good to see you tonight. Glad you're around. Just talking up some football is what we've got. So let's see. The Dolphins have taken the lead. Tyreek Hill touchdown pass. They're up 36-34 with and I'm reading this all after the fact, after it has happened. So there is no play-by-play to the benevolent galactic overlords out there. And the Eagles Patriots have moved to the 2-minute warning now, and Philadelphia has a 4th and 2 at the New England 44. So you would expect that they would punt. Stunning says Darth Maul should be the new coach. He makes for great pep talks during halftime. There you go. There you go, Joseph Dredd. Just put it down. We actually had 10 people watching there. Yay! I can't believe, I'm so touched for double figures. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for talking football. Like I said, if you have any comments from yesterday's college games, please feel free. If there's something that we missed or that you want to talk about. Oh, shoot. Oh, thank you for letting me know that then, because I am getting this off the feed. So I'll make sure I'm delayed then. Thank you, buddy. So, because I know that YouTubers can get in trouble when it's viewed as a play-by-play thing. That's not what my intent is today. I'm just doing a happen of a live score show type thing. So we will work this out. If I get in trouble, well, I don't know. It's been nice knowing y'all. But it's been a hell of a show, though. Thanks, folks, to have all y'all in here like this and talking your comments, and appreciate your feedback with it. So let's see. I guess Green Bay is now at the point of just running out the clock. So with this, it's kind of good with these two games. It's good with these two games here to wait. Oh really? Oh, I think that what's happening is probably this is like it might be a delay on the TV feed. Then I'm wondering. Maybe the ESPN's real live timing versus the play. Okay, I'll have to. I have heard that, and it came from somebody in Australia that was talking soccer or a different type of sport once, and so that's apparently something that they can do. So, and they were just talking about a specific game. Obviously, I'm not talking a specific game. So, oh no, do not tell me did they not punt the ball? Joseph Dredd, did they not punt the ball? Did they actually go for that 4th and 2? Because I do not have that game up here right now, and I'm just and I'm trying to figure out why the Dolphins are not up 3. They missed the extra point wide right. Wow. So a field goal can win the game for the Chargers. Let's see this. Language and Strickers. LOL. They went for 4, missed the extra point. Joseph Dredd, this is a topic this is what pisses me, makes me angry with the modern coaching. It's like, what is this video game crap of stuff? You punt the ball. You punt them and put them deep. Why do you go for 4th and 2 when you're going to give them very good field position? I don't understand it. And like the 2-point conversion, when you go for 2, they go for it all the time now. When in the old days, and you don't, you play it carefully. Man, I just let me see if we got over here. Oh yeah, okay. I flipped my own TV over. We got hey, thank you for a reminder about CBS there. Yes, and under 2 minutes left. Yep. So. Well, I tell you what, though, I mean, in the old days, you would have never gone for 2. You rarely went. I mean, you wouldn't have gone for it on 4th and 2 like that. You punt the ball deep and play defense is what you do. Well, so what they do is they give the Patriots time and field position to work from instead of driving the ball at worst 80 yards downfield. They have a shorter field to deal with, and really almost 2 minutes left. But then again, you've got to do something with the ball too. So 4th and 2 is reserved for playing Madden. Exactly, Castle. Exactly. Oh, Joseph Dredd has Philadelphia, New England on. Oh wow. See, I have I because it's Miami being in Florida. I've got the Miami game. So, all righty. So, all right. So there we go. So the Packers Bears is effectively over. Let's see quick stats on the Rams Seahawks. We won't belabor this because it was a 17-point game, 30-17. Matthew Stafford 24-38, 334. Don't tell JT Kirk. Geno Smith for Seattle was 16-26, 112 yards, but a touchdown pass. The Rams had three rushing touchdowns on the day. So just had two receivers over 100 yards receiving. The Rams did Tutu Atwell, and Puka Nakua. And really just generic stuff for the Seahawks. Looking at the game cast on this one. That is really not much, but basically this was it was 13-7 Seattle at half, and then it became a runaway 23-0 Rams in the second half to win 30-13. So that is the net long and short of it that we have here. Hey, look, Whoopa, I want Dak to throw anybody that's got a Cowboys jersey on and not the Giants jerseys. That's the first rule we got to have it there, is that he throws to the right team. But I will pass the message along. And Joseph Dredd is saying prevent D, New England first down. Okay. So, and the Packers are essentially almost up. Wow. I guess there must be some Miami fans in San Diego because, oh, wait. Okay. I'm live and I'm seeing the 4th down play. Wow. 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 If you're watching that Dolphins Chargers game, wow. Okay. Let's see. Buddies in Northern California, they always show Southern California teams playing like we care if they're in our state or not. LOL. Yes, the Dolphins just. Okay, thank you, buddy. Thank you for warning me. So thank you. I wonder if there's also delays in feed based on the side of the country too. So that's interesting to know. So I got to be very careful about what I see when it happens. So. But we'll do it. 10 of y'all here tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. Follow us on Twitch and subscribe. Get more. Let's get that march to 500 going now. See if we can do it by the first of the year and have a good time with this whole thing that we call life and YouTube and I don't know, do some crazy stuff. All right, so we got that. All right. So, oh man. So we're down to 2 games now. The Packers have gone final. I'm going to hold off before I say much of anything with that because as we wait the results on these other 2 games. And so we'll see. Yes, Joseph Dredd. I see that 4th and 11. So we'll have to see what happens. I understand. I can't say much right now. I'm just waiting for results. But hey, folks, let's take a look at the Packers Bears real quick. I will tell you how bad Justin Fields' numbers look while we're waiting on this other. Justin Fields is 24-37, 216 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And he also ran the ball 9 times for 59 yards. Again, contract for production. Yeah. So Jordan Love, though, in his Packers, he did make one start before, but as becoming the starter for Green Bay, Jordan Love was 15 to 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Good performance, especially on the road against the hated rivals. So yeah, that was pretty much a one-sided route with the Bears and the Packers. So Bupa says it's not looking great for him. Whoopa, let's see. I'm only up by 4 in my fantasy matchup. He has a wide receiver, tight end, and defense left. I have a QB and kicker left. Oh my gosh! And you're having to rely on Dak Prescott. Yeah. Oh, you got the big blue flash too. I thought that was just me. I thought it was my antenna doing something. Wow, the flash. Oh, it might have been those damn uniforms. So, folks, there's only one game left, and that's this New England game. And as Joseph Dredd said out there, there's a whole it's there's they're looking at it before they decide what happens. So so they did not get okay. Uh Now you have Philly New England. Yep. Okay. So all right. Yep. So it was a turnover on downs, and now the initial call was a catch. Okay. Well, that's why you have review. We have to live with the review, but it's a shame. Such a such a shame. But hey, that will complete the day on the NFL. The day we'll have one game tonight, one game uh, tomorrow night. Kind of interesting that I only have one game tomorrow night. So, uh, yeah. So just so anyway, we'll see what happens. Uh, let's see the Rams, Dolphins, Chargers. Let's look at that box score real quick. We've got this Tua Tagovailoa, 28, 45, 460 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Really non-existent running game, 70 yards total for the team. Let's see, Miami receiving. Tyreek Hill had 11 catches, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Tua did lose a fumble also, and let's see, Los Angeles. I keep calling them San Diego Chargers. Justin Herbert, 23-33, 228 yards, a touchdown. Uh, 3 rushing touchdowns on the day for the Chargers, including one by Herbert. So it was a good game, good to watch. Although the last play was an overwhelming pass rush to sack Herbert on the last offensive snap of the game. Was really a dominating performance by the Miami defense on that drive. Let's see, are there any other games before I get to this last game here that we need to talk about? Rams Seahawks. No, I think the last game statistically we look at is the Eagles Patriots. It just went final in Foxborough, where the Eagles won 25-20. Jalen Hurts was 22 of 33 for 170 yards and touchdown. Again, folks, the way we're praising quarterbacks now for stat numbers like this are just killing me, because this is nothing. I mean, get the Dan Fouts, Dan Marino. I mean, even Boomer Science. Those guys, Steve Young, Joe Montana. I mean, those guys put up big numbers and at least 10 yards of completion, and just. But now the glory these quarterbacks are getting, the pay they're getting for these just what used to be just average numbers. For New England, Mac Jones, a former Alabama quarterback, was 35 of 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. So there's our friend Ezekiel Elliott. 7 carries, 29 yards. So what the anyway. So uh, anyway, looking at the numbers here. Do 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 do. Going for that. Yeah, of course that was the case too. Failed 2 point conversion attempt for New England. That they might have a field goal could have tied it for overtime. So, well, interesting game to see. That probably would have been a good game to watch. But see Ezekiel Elliott, 7 carries for 29 yards. I mean, that goes into the debate about running backs, their livelihood, how much they deserve to get paid. Derrick Henry's one of those leading the case, but he's one of the remaining real carry the load type running back offenses. So you just a lot of stuff, a lot of news storylines out there with it. Um, but it was a good game, come down to the wire. That's at least what you want to see, some competitive balance and some good football action. And so it's a pretty good day, first day of the regular season for the NFL. Not really many blowouts, just a couple, but overall some decent action. So I'm surprised they don't have two Monday night games like they used to for in recent years. But I guess it looks like there's only one Monday night game, and it'll be the Bills at the Jets, and of course tonight at 8:20 it'll be the Cowboys at the Giants. I kind of like that Cowboys Giants as a kickoff game. I kind of like the way it is, and it seems to be in New York every year's first game. I think it's kind of a cool way to start the season. So your rivals, I hate the Giants, but then again, my buddy Mark D with a C, hey, go Cowboys. I'll have fun with that. All right, folks, we have gone about an hour, 45 minutes tonight. Thank y'all for being with me and hanging out. We'll see where this stream goes and see how this goes. See if it does not get knocked somehow or whatever. I didn't show anything, so who knows what, but I didn't do play by play, so we'll figure out what happens. But tell me in the comments and the channel when it goes to the YouTube channel, please go out there and actually like and comment on the video on the YouTube channel itself. Provide me your feedback there as to whether you like this format, if you like this type of show. Give me some feedback. I'd like to hear, because it does help the algorithm, the more having comments and feedback, and share it out, share the streams out from the YouTube side. So if you can do that, I appreciate it. I'm curious to know what you think, because I've debated whether last week I did something on Saturday night with college football and kind of did it live, but I kind of like this personally today where I could recap last night's college football games and the polls as they come out, and then kind of do an update of the NFL as it goes along. That's kind of, but I'd love to know what you're thinking. Oh, Djokovic just won his 24th Grand Slam. That is amazing. Wow. Grand Slams all 4 major tennis tournaments in 1 year. Wow, that's amazing. You don't see many people winning any. Now, that's not the 24th Grand Slam. That's the 24th Grand Slam tournament, right? Because actually winning the Grand Slam itself is, but then again, I'm so far out of tennis, just you could probably tell me, and I'd agree with whatever. So, well, hey, folks, on that note, thank you again for being here. Let me, as I'm saying, I hit the wrong damn button. It's going to open my Excel for some reason. I do want to share one thing real quick. Let's see. This, of course, the missus ain't gonna like what I do here, but it's like, well, I don't know. I figured out how to. Actually, there we go. There we go. I know how to do this. Okay, yeah, any of the 4 majors. Gotcha. I wonder when the last person to actually win a Grand Slam is. All 4 within 1 year. I would think, or was it Djokovic that could have done it, but because of that thing and quote thingies that you had to do to be able to travel, that he got banned, that he did not get to compete for that in 1 year. So I'm thinking, but hey, folks, remember, join me. Join me Thursday night. We're gonna have Anthony. He's a very close person to our family. We're gonna talk about Florida, Tennessee, and a lot other this week. Oh shoot! try to do this. There we go. Maximize gets rid of whatever that was at the bottom. Go through that. Anthony, there we go. Here we go. September 14th at 8 p.m. Join for that. We're going to have fun talking. And, of course, this lineup last week with O.C. Dobbins. We'll update our pick standings. And then you can see the other remaining guests that are coming up throughout the year. And, of course, catch my live streams and videos on YouTube and Twitch, all at Dadman Walking 55. My streaming schedule is at Dadman Walking 55. Whenever I go live for instantaneous fortnights like I did today, or just sudden random chill streams or whatever else, catch me at Dadman Walking 55. The only thing on Twitter to find me, or X, is at Dadman Walking 55 specifically. So, folks, on that note, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for hanging out for so long, and had up to 10 people watching, hanging out, and thank you for talking football with me today, and I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Oh, hey, wait a second. Here we go. Steffi Graf in 1980 was the last one, all 4 in one calendar year. Yes, exactly. Okay. Wow, it's been that long. Man, tell you what, that is something. That is something. And, even the most dominant tennis players have not been able to win all 4 in 1 year since then. And she was a machine back then. There have been some other machines lately, but didn't do it. So, hey. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Hit that like button. Please comment on the YouTube side when the video's up. And please give me your feedback about this type of show format. And if it works, I might look at doing more of it because, going forward or in some other fashion, or just tweaking a few things. So on that note, everybody have a great rest of your day, your weekend, and have a happy another work week coming up, and we will catch you later. Bye all.